University Business Academy in Novi Sad during this summer arranged international summer school with a purpose to exchange and interconnect students through student mobility and study abroad program. Thanks to this program, students from Tecnologico de Monterrey University stayed in Novi Sad for a month and a half. During their stay in Novi Sad, students were not only studying, but also they have learned a lot about Serbian history and culture. University Business Academy has organized courses in 2 subjects: democracy and citizenship and intercultural management. After they have finished their lectures, they received a certificate that will be recognized for their college back in Mexico. Tecnologico de Monterrey University is one of the most recognizable universities in Latin America. It has 30 campuses and 90,000 students. They have a possibility to choose among 100 universities from all over the world which are in international exchange program. 8 of them chose Serbia. Of course, it was not by an accident. For their arrival, all credits go to Professor Mihailovic, who lives in Mexico for 26 years and he is a professor at Tecnologico de Monterrey University in Mexico.
I
think that this will be very precious and fantastic experience for them. They got an opportunity to meet new people, new country, our culture, and after all they will bring these beautiful impressions to Mexico. Therefore, I hope that in the years to come it will be much more students in this exchanging program. Of course, this cooperation has to be more intensive, better and more successful. Mexican ambassador officially welcomed all students who came to Serbia.
We need to promote the knowledge about Serbia in Mexico and vice versa. And the better way to achieve this goal is the exchange student program. Otherwise, media has not informing completely and accurately what is going on in Serbia or what is going on in Mexico. But when you dedicate time to students, they take the spirit, they catch the knowledge, the feeling, the perceptions of the other country. And when they come back to Mexico or Serbia, then they are more familiar and they are the better informers of what is happening in every country. There are differences, certainly. It depends on the organization of education. But what I think it's common, is similar, is the desire of the students to expand their knowledge. They don't not want to remain in one size of horizon, but they want to widen the horizon, and then it's similar. Doesn't matter if the style of teaching or educating. The most important is the desire to know more about what is going on, more than your own borders. And then we have to congratulate the students that are pursuing that goal. I like to see that the students really are very well educated, they are disciplined, and they are serious in education. They are preparing harder for further employment, to do a better job when they are grown up. And that's what I like to see the youth of Serbia that is similar to the youth in Mexico. They are trying to become better citizens. They try to prepare better every day just to create a better society.
Mi apsolutno želimo da podržimo taj projekat.
We want to support this project and to establish good communication with all quality educational institutions in the world. We want to show them the world and give them a chance to be a part of it.
Napravit će linkove za ceo život i onda će...
Through all this contact, they will make strong bonds and they will stay in touch, so later, when time comes, they can do all kinds of projects together. On this touristic destination through Serbia, the students were followed by our team. Our first destination was the cultural tourist complex Drvengrad Wooden City. The creator of this unique ethnic settlement is director Emir Kusturica. The construction of Drvengrad followed the idea of a perfect life beyond everyday routine, abandoned into the magic of nature and the call of tradition, keeping in the same time the links with the current moment. Authentic old Vlach cabins of this region were used to build Drvengrad. Many of them, several hundreds of years old, were deserted and exposed to the ravage of time. In order to make them functional again, they were transported in frames, restored and put upon high stone supports, with basement adapted to the inclination of the terrain. Drvengrad is a place of many cultural events and the gathering place of numerous famous artists and athletes for all over the world. After this peaceful touristic sightseeing of the famous Drvengrad Wooden City, the real adventure, rafting, was awaiting for them, especially for adrenaline junkies. Although the temperature of the air and water were a far cry from summer temperatures, none of the students have gotten discouraged. One of the most famous falls was ahead of us, known as a fall through one of the most beautiful rivers in Serbia. Beside Drina and Tara, Lim is the final destination for all who loves rafting and spending time outdoors. The river flows from Plavsko Lake, and down the stream there are canyons, waterfalls, caves and all kinds of plants and animals as well. With help of our experienced guiders, going through fast river stream wasn't really hard, it was rather exciting, and that's the beauty of rafting. Who tries that once, it will try again definitely. And now stories about rafting and beautiful nature of River Lim will spread all the way to Mexico. After all kinds of adventures on the river, relaxing time was needed. That's why they went to see Kamena Gora, a small village which is the perfect example of rural tourism. The nature in this area was really generous. It has a beautiful landscapes, a good climate, and the locals are very open and we can say famous for their hospitality. Although they were exhausted after a long day, they continued to hang out with homemade food, drinks and the music both on Serbian and Spanish as well. All places which are located on the stream of Lim are very old and they represent historical monuments, so they require some time to be seen. In this part of Serbia there are several monasteries which are the main part of touristic offer of our country. This time we have visited the Studenica Monastery, Sopoćani and Žiča. Studenica is one of the largest and the most beautiful of all Serbian monasteries. It is a 12th century Serbian Orthodox monastery. Stevan Nemanja, the founder of the medieval Serbian state, founded the monastery in 1190. The monastery's fortified walls encompass two churches, the Church of the Virgin and the Church of the King. Both of them were built using white marble. This monastery is best known for its collection of 13th and 14th century Byzantine-style fresco paintings. Studenica was declared Monument of Culture of Exceptional Importance in 1979, and in 1986 UNESCO included Studenica Monastery on the list of World Heritage Sites. Žiča is an early 13th century Serb Orthodox monastery. Together with the Church of the Holy Dormition was built by the first king of Serbia, Stefan I Crowned. Žiča was the seat of the archbishop and by tradition the coronational church of the Serbian kings. 7th Serbian king was crowned in this church. Although a king could be crowned in any Serbian church, he was never considered a true king until he was anointed in Žiča. The tradition was continued by son of Stefan I Crowned, Uroš I. The Sopoćani monastery, an endowment of King Uroš I, was built in the second half of the 13th century, near the source of the Raška River in the region of Ras, the center of the Serbian medieval state. It is a designated World Heritage Site, added in 1979 with Stari Ras. The church was dedicated to the Holy Trinity and completed around 1965. Meeting new people, also getting an opportunity to learn about culture and history of the unfamiliar country is the main goal on the international exchange program. After traveling through Serbia, our Mexican guests have considered that they have done a great thing by visiting our country. After meeting eastern, western, south and central Serbia, we are heading north to Palić and Subotica. This year, Palić is celebrating 170 years of its touristical life. Having our guests over was the great opportunity to represent North Serbia as an interesting touristic destination. All guests are welcomed in warmly manner. Traditional architecture with food and drinks were all presented to them. As well as wine tours and degustation at the Palić National Park. Local wine sellers are offering tours and degustation of their wines. One of the best is the wine cellar named by the famous songwriter and singer Zvonko Bogdan. It was built in traditional spirit and it represents mentality of the local population. It has very long history as well. They produce several kinds of wines strictly made from their vineyards. After taking a tour and enjoying the process of making wine, students were offered to try their products. During 2 days visit in the National Park of Palić, they visited Ranch Kelebija, which is home for 64 Lipicaner pure breed horses. Visitors are coming here very often. They have school of riding and also they are offering carriage rides through beautiful local areas. They also have competition fields, modern stables and museum of carriages. Today it's very common to see that carriages are rented for weddings or other official ceremonies. Mexican students witness that the ranch itself represents paradise for people and horses as well. All things that they saw in Serbia were new, but not unfamiliar for them.
The places are really beautiful. It's pretty different from Mexico, but sometimes it's also similar, you know, with music, sometimes with food. So I feel like home. I don't miss my home.
Maybe in Mexico we have something similar, but anything like this, not anything is the same as in other places. It feels really nice, and I really enjoy it.
I listen some kind of things of not only Serbia but also this part of ex-Yugoslavia. I have heard that it could be a little bit dangerous, but when I was here the first time, I recognized that it's a really peaceful country. People are so friendly with us, especially because we are Mexicans and we have some relations, as my other mate says about telenovelas. Particularly, I would like to come back again because I really have a really good time here. So I must recommend not only my friends but everyone to meet Serbia, because this country has a lot of potential, not only in landscapes, tourism, it has history. So it's a set of characteristics that we love in a country, and Serbia has it.
I would like to come back with my family to show them all the places that we have visited. And also I will take them to Mokra Gora, and to that places they are very beautiful.
I think that they are pretty responsible. They have like this sense of homework, this sense of responsibility, this sense of commitment through their own school. That's a real key for a successful students, and if they are successful, the students, as a result, the school will be successful.
Tec de Monterrey is a big university, and female university is quite little, but they have professors well qualified as in Tec de Monterrey. So for us, the important and the quality of the professor is the most important, because there is where you learn, and you learn the information for the future.
They say that we have something in common, so they could easily adjust to new environment. Leaving their impressions with them, they said that they will fall in love in this country and they would like to come back one day. Cooperation between University Business Academy from Novi Sad and Faculty of Technology from Mexico has just begun. In future, we will try to do more researching projects and to exchange teaching staff. Next year, students from University Business Academy will be guests to their student colleagues in Mexico. Final realization of this program will be next year. Students from Serbia will go to Mexico City, and that will be the first time that our students got the chance to visit another country. In the future, we will try our best to involve other countries in South America in our students' exchange program.